What if I told you I could teach you guys how to build an operating system in less than 10 minutes? Welcome to the Business Algorithm. My name is Lucas, and that's exactly what I'm going to teach you guys today. So I love all the Marvel movies. I've watched Iron Man, and more recently I went to go watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I'm always fascinated with how all these characters have their little operating system inside. Iron Man begins starting off with Jarvis, ends up with Ultron, and eventually finishes off his career with Friday. And more recently, in Spider-Man Brand New Day, Spider-Man introduces his new operating system, Agent E.V. And I thought that was really cool. So in this operating system, I wanted to build something kind of similar. So because my company name was called Revinetic, I thought, why not just call it Revit? So I have told Claude Code for Revit to have master control. And the cool thing about it is once I hand it over to you, you can change Revit to whatever name you want. You can have a Friday of your own. And you can tell it endless amount of things because AI has just become that good. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So I've built an artifact on Claude Code, just briefly teaching you guys how to install the rough basics of the operating system. So here it is. I thought it would be simpler just to teach you guys the basics into getting the operating system started so that you guys have an easy win. And on top of that, in future videos, I'm going to show you guys how to leverage the operating system so you guys can start building things. And on top of that, keep winning. Because it's one thing to build something, but it's a completely different thing to build something and then win. That feeling that you just accomplished something, that feeling that you can go to a party and you can be like, guys, look at what I made. That's the feeling I want to give you guys. I'm not trying to do all this hype. I want to give you guys the best of what AI has to offer, and I'm doing as much as I can to get that to you as fast as possible. So I've compiled a checklist of more or less everything you have to get in order to get everything running smoothly. So for one, you're going to have to get Visual Studio Code. You're going to have to go out and grab Claude Code Pro, because in order to grab Claude Code, you have to get a paid plan. But the good news is it's not uber expensive. You can spend, I believe it's $22 a month. It's not that crazy. If you got some spare cash around that you got no idea what to do with it, just put into Claude Code. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're going to want to get GitHub if you don't already have it. So Visual Studio Code, GitHub, Claude Code. So once you got all that done, you're going to want to come over here. I've compiled all the basics into one repository, and I've called it the Business Algorithm Operating System. There are other options as well, like ChatGPT, Codex, and connecting it to Gmail. And we're going to go through some of those things, but they're not necessary to get you started. It really depends on what you want to do, because once you have the basic framework of what the operating system is, the options of what you can connect are basically limitless, so long as you have either an API key or if you're able to just connect it directly. If you talk to Revit or whoever you're going to call it, it can search it up for you on the web. It can do some deep research and it can come back to you with their findings. And it can tell you whether it's able to connect or not connect. So you're going to grab this. You're going to go copy. So github.com/thegreennKnight, which is my account name, /the Business Algorithm OS or TBA OS, which is the business algorithm, but I just shortened it down just for simplicity reasons. So grab that link, paste it in, and you should automatically see this show up. I've made it public so that you guys are able to access this repository. So grab this link over here, hit code, download zip. So we're going to download it. There you go, TBA OS main zip. And we're going to open up Visual Studio Code. And for me, it's a new window. We're going to hit open, downloads. We're going to go over here. We're going to see what it has. Perfect. So click on TBA OS main zip. It's going to open up. Go over to Visual Studio Code. Hit Command O or Control O, whatever computer system you're using. Downloads. Date added. So odd. There you go. Perfect. And yes, I trust the authors. And we're going to go all the way over here. So once you're in Visual Studio Code, because I have already set it up, I can already see the Claude Code icon over here on the left. But if you don't have that already into Visual Studio Code, you're going to want to hit Extensions. You're going to want to go look for Claude Code for VS Code, which is already here, and hit Install. I already have it installed, so I don't have to worry too much. But it acts as an extension of Claude Code rather than using the desktop app into your operating system, which I really like, because once it makes things, for example, files, folders, it puts them all into here, and it allows you to see what Claude Code is doing rather than in the desktop app. They both have their pros and cons, but by far, I would recommend using Visual Studio Code as much as you can. So head over to the Claude Code extension, hit new session. We're going to input this prompt. All right, I just imported this repo. Repo is short for repository. I want to set up my AI operating system, and my name is Lucas. Can you help me get onboarded with this project? We're going to hit enter. And how this operating system works is that it's going to ask you 7 different questions about yourself, your life, who you are, your company, if you have one, and your hopes and aspirations for what you want to accomplish in this operating system. So it doesn't have to be too elaborate. It doesn't have to be too specific, but the more detailed you are, and especially if you have a goal in mind, you should really tell it to the operating system, because then it's going to tailor all its work going forward towards that main goal. And it's going to think ahead in what you're making, and it could advise you as well too towards getting to your goal faster and more efficiently. So let's go through each one by one. So who are you? What do I sell? And who do I sell it to? So my name is Lucas. I am 18. Just go on, say who you are, say what you do. My name is Sarah. I work in property management, and I spend a significant amount of time reading emails, and I'm just really fed up with that. How can I come up with a way to optimize my time as a property manager and just excel in my job? Or there's countless options that you can do. So I'm 18. I host the Business Algorithm YouTube channel, and I love to teach people. Another cool trick that I really like to use, especially when I want to be detailed, is to just use the voice option, simply because typing does take a while and there are quite a few questions. So I do recommend using the tab to record. I really like helping people out, especially with just all these new technology coming out, all the new software, these massive companies that are coming out with products that the everyday person can use. And my goal is to teach people how to use that in their regular life and how to optimize that to have an even more efficient life at home, at work, anywhere they are. And what do I sell? Right now, I haven't sold anything. I'm more so approaching from the journalistic perspective, where I can teach people, and later on I might introduce some products. And who do I sell it to? I guess I could say I'm selling my information, my content to the general public, to people who want to know about AI, who just don't have time to learn about AI. And just for the sake of time, let's just paste it in there. Okay, question 2, paste 1 to 2 things you've written recently. Don't edit them. So we can go over to my Instagram page for Revenetic. So let's grab 1 or 2 posts from here. So let's go over here. Oh, let's grab this. I would suggest refraining from grabbing any AI generated content, because then Claude Code will remember that. And whenever you want to do like answer emails or answering anything like that where they in text, it will remember your original question response, and it's going to think that you are like an AI robot, and it's going to respond based off of how you answered. The question is looking for your personality, not for ChatGPT's personality. That we can figure out in a later time. And of course, for the sake of the video, I'm just copying from my Instagram, but you can put yours, you can put an essay, you can put a page of maybe you've written a book, an article that you like, something that inspires you, anything. We're going to paste that in there. Okay, question 3. What are your biggest priorities for the next 90 days? I want to teach people and publish this video on how to create the operating system of their dreams. I want them to have an agent called whatever they want to call it, and whenever they invoke that name, that they are able to optimize it to get whatever they want to get done fast and efficiently. That's a solid deliverable, but let's pin it down, since 90 days can be 2 to 3 concrete things. Quick follow-ups, and then I'll log it. So this video, do have a published target date. So, okay, I'll tell it that I want it done in the next couple of days. Let's pitch something. Why not? I want to grow my subscriber list from 16 subscribers all the way to 200 subscribers in the next 90 days. I want to see the comment section filling up with people just saying thank you and having their questions and having a honest, amazing community where people can just come together and talk about how they're learning how to use AI. Okay, great. Good numbers. One more thing. Rough date for the Dream OS. Great idea. I'm thinking in 4 days maximum, but I want to have that full Dream OS, which is the operating system with all its amazing features. In my perspective, I want to get that done within 90 days. So we're going to send that in. Where does revenue actually land and where is it tracked? For simplicity, again, I have already set up my operating system, but let's just throw some random things just to show you guys how it more or less works. I mostly get it through YouTube ad revenue, and I get it through a donation page. It's a buy me a coffee page. Let's keep going. Where do you talk to customers, your team outside? I use Microsoft Teams. I usually have a bi-weekly meeting on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. I use Gmail. Question 6. But I get the team to input all the final stuff in the neat, polished material within the Google Workspace. So Docs, Sheets, Drive, Keep, all these within the Google Workspace, because I know I'm able to leverage that with Google Spark and all sorts of Google products together. And I really like how it's seamless. So I usually try to go to Google for as much as I can. Wow. Question 7. What's the one task that eats your week and where do you currently track work? I currently track work within Notebook LM and also on paper. And the one task that eats my week is recording and publishing videos. I just can't stand it. It just takes so long. And I wish there was a faster way to automate that. It told me that everything is set up. The basic materials for the operating system is included. Day 1 is done. We got Revit knows who I am. It knows what I sell, and what matters for this quarter, and how I sound. And the cool thing about this operating system is that it also follows up with you in terms of days. And tomorrow, we're ready to set up the next thing. So it says over here, tomorrow pick one tool from connections.md and wire it up, manual MCP, or install or write a small API script plus save references. And by day 7, run /audit to see your score. So if you ever have just a little bit of confusion of what these words mean, MD, reference, connections, audit, all these words, if you really need help, just ask Claude Code. Just briefly respond like a caveman, connections, audits, because they all mean different things within the world of code. And just say respond like a dummy. And what it will do, or it could respond like a grade 10 or a grade 3 language, because then it helps you understand what it's doing. We don't care if the operating system works. We care if it gets something done. And that's it. If you guys like this video, give a like, hit the notification bell, subscribe to help me publish more videos faster and more efficiently. And I'll see you guys in the next one.